Hello and welcome to the Spice Zone, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Boygos, and today we are going to be taking a look at XL Tyranitar in the Open Master League. And I did one step further than XL Tyranitar, and I paired him with two Shundos, one being Rhyperior, a fellow rock boy, and the other being Zekrom. So this team does not like Zacian, and it doesn't really like fairy types for multiple reasons. But that being said, we're going to see what we can do up against this Togekiss as it swaps in here. And we're going to see what we can do up against the entire Master League meta with these spicy boys. So, we're going to be building up to another Rock Wrecker for this Togekiss here. And this is one of those situations where Surf might have been pretty nice to have over Superpower. But Mud Slap's coming in there to sneak. Not doing a whole lot of damage, obviously, because it's a flying type, but now we've got Tyranitar coming in, and I'm gonna go for the Stone Edge on the Togekiss. Get Tyranitar some glory here really quick, and I think I'm actually gonna be able to take it out because there's just no way this Ancient Power is gonna take me out. And so this Stone Edge for T-Tar, Despacito, the T-Tar. My first perfect T-Tar, by the way. I had a spell where I got one from a trade, I got one from an egg, I got one from a raid. I have 4 perfect Tyranitars, or one's a Larvitar, I think. They might all be Tyranitar now, but they're all from different ways too, which is weird. Look at this. You guys liked it when Zekrom survived a earthquake earlier in the last video, which if you didn't check out level 50 Venusaur, be sure to check out my last video. But you guys liked it when Zekrom survived an earthquake. He did it again. He did it again, and this time he doesn't even have Buddy Boost on. The Buddy Boost is on Tyranitar, who is a level 49. But I'm boosting it to level 50, so that's why there's no like level 51 on my team right now. Alright, so Tyranitar is going to be up against the Giratina. This is a great lead. There's nothing they can really do to us other than Dragon Pulse, and they're just not going to use a Dragon Pulse. Yeah, they've got a Shadow Ball, so that's just doing a laughable amount, and we're going to throw the Crunch at the Giratina. Hopefully do a bunch of damage to the Giratina. Yeah, and we're going to take it out actually. And so in comes the Dialga, and bites are still gonna add up on the Dialga. It's not Dragon Breath, you know, like it's gonna add up quicker. And so in comes Ralph the Rock Wrecker, and he's gonna block the Draco there. They probably should Iron Head and built up to another Iron Head. That would have been smart, but they wanted to get out of there. They didn't want the fast move damage from Rhyperior. I'm going to eat a Psy Strike on Rhyperior because I can, and then throw the Rock Wrecker to threaten the Mewtwo. And this is going to hurt if they let it through. They do not, so then in comes Zekrom, and we're going to crunch this Mewtwo. So we can also eat a Psy Strike on Zekrom. This team's got some bulk to it, a little bit, but ooh, it's an Ice Beam. That's pretty spicy, actually. I forgot about this. That was pretty spicy. Major props. But we are going to crunch that thing, and let's see, can we get the debuff? Yes, we got the debuff, and so they swap to clear the debuff, and in comes Rhyperior with a shield. Will we be able to take this? This is going to be very close, and no, that's going to be an L. But a really close match nonetheless, and pretty cool to see an Ice Beam Mewtwo out here in the Master League. So big props to that trainer, and GG. Moving into the next one. Alright, so we've got Bite up against the Garchomp here. And yeah, this is going to do some nice neutral, guys. So we're going to block this Outrage here. I just knew it was a ton of energy, so I was going to block it in case of an Earth Power. Usually if they're going to Sand Tomb, they'll do it right away. Usually. Yeah, that's ELO. But anyway, we are going to try and Dragon Breath down the young Garchomp here, the Outrage Machine, and we are gonna just finish that off, drop the shield, and crunch this Mewtwo, hopefully get a defense drop. That would be ideal. But either way, now we're gonna be able to get Mewtwo lined up with the Tyranitar, so they're gonna have to Focus Blast us if they want to do anything really. Yeah, so Tyranitar's coming back in, and they swap into Melmetal. This is pretty tough here. Not gonna lie, this is pretty tough. This is not a great situation to be in. So now, I mean, they've superpowered though, So ideally, they've debuffed themselves a couple times defense-wise, and now Ralph is going to start to do even more damage, and they're going to do less damage with every single superpower, right? So Tyranitar might have had to take the superpower, which wasn't ideal, and now we got this Mewtwo in the back, but we've got a Rock Wrecker to deal with the Mewtwo, and their shields are down, so this should be able to comfortably take out the Mewtwo. Oh, nope, we had to do another Mud Slap. That was close. That was scary. That was a little scary. Okay, alright, maybe a little harder than it had to be. You know, like, I think there was a couple of win cons that could have maybe changed things earlier. I mean, the opponent could have changed things too, so who knows what would have happened. But GG, nonetheless, moving into the next one. Alright, we've got Tyranitar lined up with Mewtwo, and they swap into the Zacian. And my best answer to this thing is Rhyperior, because Rhyperior can hit it with the with non-resisted fast move damage, where the other two are going to be resisted. So, and it can eat a close combat. So I can shield the second one now that now that they've thrown one. And then I'm going to Rock Wreck him, and they're definitely going to shield this, right? Oh no, wow, okay, alright, they let their Zacian go down. And Rhyperior's taking out that. Okay, alright, and Dialga comes in. This is bad news for Dialga because we got a bunch of damage on it already, and Bite is gonna hit Dialga for neutral. So I'm gonna come in, yeah, I'm gonna come in with the Bite because I don't want to take those super effective Dragon Breaths on Zekrom, and Zekrom with no shields still has a chance, right? And Crunch is gonna get a shield there, and defense drops, and Zekrom's gonna come in and farm down the Dialga. So they lost a ton of energy there. That is super rough for them. And Zekrom is gonna come in here with the Crunch, and this is gonna have to get shielded, or it's gonna do a ton of damage to the Mewtwo. It does a ton of damage to the Mewtwo, and that's pretty much GG at that point, I believe. There's just no way they're gonna be taking us out at this point. Yeah, GG's. Thank you for the battle, trainer. All right, moving into the next one here. And we've got Tyranitar up on the Mewtwo. Great, this is what we want, right? This is what we want, right? This is exactly what we want, okay? We want it up on the Mewtwo in the beginning to get that huge chunkage off the Mewtwo, and look at how fast that's taken that thing down. I mean, granted, it's sped up to 150% just for speed purposes, but for the video, but I mean, that's a ton of damage. Stone Edge gonna get the block out of Kyogre, and in comes the Zekrom. Now that they've devoted a shield to the Kyogre, we're gonna throw the Crunch. Because we don't want to debuff, even though the Wild Charge would do a ton, and see if they shield. They don't shield, which is kind of pain, but that's okay. We're going to shield up this Blizzard and just Dragon Breath down the Kyogre. And so in comes Mewtwo, and Mewtwo is going to have a Side Strike for us. I don't think the Side Strike will quite kill us from this range, so we're going to take that on the cheek. And then in comes a Togekiss to charm us down. So that's pretty rough. But Togekiss, you only got one shield, and I'm bulky as well. And none of your moves really do anything to Rhyperior. So other than Dazzling Gleam, which nobody's running. So yeah, that's going to be kind of tough for you, Togekiss. Because now I'm going to be building to another Rock Wrecker. And I'm going to get there, actually, before you are able to charm me down. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I am going to get there before they're able to charm me down, and I'm going to Rock Wreck that Togekiss. Ralph is going to wreck it, and Ralph is Rock Wrecking, look at that, and in comes the Mewtwo again, and Mewtwo, you are just going to have to face the wrath of Tyranitar. It ends where it began, folks, between these two, a rivalry as old as the first raids with Mewtwo, right guys? Tyranitar hanging around. Alright, we got a a Shadow Mamoswine. Big spice points to this trainer. It looks like it's a high level one as well, so that's, I think, 37 something. And we're just gonna bite that, but still, very cool trainer, very cool. Pun intended. Well, it wasn't intended, but I'm gonna pretend it was. Anyway, we're gonna crunch this thing, and they are gonna let it go. That's nice. Okay, in comes a Zacian, and like I said, guys, there's like not much Tyranitar can really do. The bite was starting to chunk. I'd rather just take one close combat on the Zacian. It looks like we actually able to sneak in a Mud Slap there. That's pretty tight. And then in comes a Mewtwo, a Shadow Mewtwo, which they probably wanted to avoid the Tyranitar, but now they're going to have to shield this up unless they wanted to do big damage. And yeah, they shielded that up, and now they're down to 1 shield as well. I'm going to let Rhyperior go. It's kind of played its role at this point, taking a shield, threatened some damage to the Zacian. And Mewtwo needs to get obliterated by this Tyranitar, and that's exactly what happened. So in comes Zacian again, and we are going to try and Stone Edge this Zacian here. I think it needs to be done, and then in comes the Zekrom. Zekrom could just, wait for them to throw a close combat, because they're not going to Wild Charge, and if they had Play Rough, they probably would have used it earlier to not have to debuff, because it would still been super effective with Stab on Tyranitar. So they probably have Wild Charge, and so now I'm just going to Wild Charge them myself, as Zekrom takes out Zacian. GG's trainer. Thank you for the battle. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate all of the new subscribers we've got lately, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.